Yes, guys, yes, people, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing well today. As you can see, I've got to do this video very quickly for my predictions because the Liverpool versus Brentford game is about to kick off, or it's already been kicked off, so I don't want to miss that one. So, yeah, I've really got to do this video very quickly so that I won't miss that game. It's going to be a really great game, of course. When these two met last time, it was 3-3, so let's hope it will be another one. So, I'm going to do this video for you guys very quickly, and then I'm going to quickly watch that game. And then tomorrow's games, they're going to be, starting from 7:45 and then some 8 o'clock, and then we'll end it on a Thursday. So yeah, really got to do this quickly for you guys. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you click the like button if you enjoyed this video or the other series that I've done so far. Make sure you click the subscribe button if you're new. Click the bell notification so that I never miss any of my YouTube content, and make sure you smash the share button so that everyone can come in and give their predictions in the comments down below. So without further ado, let me quickly give you guys my predictions for this week's Game Week 19. As you can see that the games are coming in pretty fast because after that there will be FA Cup games next weekend. So that's why there's going to be lots of games because of the World Cup. So yeah, so without further ado, let's start off with the Brentford vs Liverpool game. So later on today, or the game that just kicked off, I gone for a 2-2 draw between Brentford and Liverpool. Liverpool were very lucky to beat Leicester City, and the reason why that is because Faze has scored 2 own goals and is the fourth player ever to do that. So yeah, so I feel like um, Liverpool weren't at their best against Leicester City, but they had to win because a loss for them means that they will not finish in the top four. But listen, I knew there would be Leicester City, but the way they conceded that quickly, honestly, Liverpool's defending hasn't been that great, and their midfield hasn't been that great as well. But Leicester City fans will be really disappointed. I know Faze will be really be shocked by that. So yeah, but I feel like the Brentford game is going to be difficult for Liverpool because they've beaten West Ham, and it's at their ground. And obviously, Tottenham just drew 2-2. I feel like Brentford will score 2 goals, but I think Liverpool will also score 2 goals. So that's why I think it's going to be a draw. I can't see either Liverpool win or Brentford win. So that's why I'm hoping another good game, and it's going to be a draw 2-2. So yeah. So and guess what? The news that I've heard early on today is that Ivan Toney could start. I mean, I would have thought that with that kind of injury, he would have been out for the rest of the season. But it turns out it's not that serious. So so he could start, which is unbelievable. Like so yeah. So that's why I'm going to go for a draw 2-2 because without Ivan Toney, I think Liverpool win. But since he could return and start the game later on today, that means thank goodness that I went for a draw rather than Liverpool win. So 2-2 is going to be my prediction. The next one, the one that I'm looking forward to, is Arsenal against Newcastle United. Of course, Newcastle United and Arsenal still remain unbeaten. They both of them still lost one game. Of course, Arsenal won their game against Brighton, thankfully, because Brighton could have had the draw and they could have done what Newcastle did, but instead they've lost. So, yeah, for Newcastle, they really didn't do well against Leeds United. They drew 0-0. With the amount of chances that they had, I would have thought that they've won, but they've actually drew. So, you have to give credit to Leeds United. So, yeah. So this game is going to really be a really good game. I'm certainly going to watch that one, and also the Man United versus Bournemouth one. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal, just about. Even though my first one is that this could be a draw, I was like, nah, you know what? I went for a draw against Brighton and Arsenal win, so I'm going to back Arsenal to beat Newcastle at the Emirates tomorrow, and I'm going to go for a slight 2-1 Arsenal win. I feel like Arsenal are being serious. I feel like they have a chance of winning the title and definitely finishing the top four. So yes, unfortunately, as a Chelsea fan, I have to admit that, and I said that Arsenal do well this season, and people thought I was deluded. look, they're 7 points clear of Manchester City and Newcastle United. And who would have thought anyone would have predicted that? Not even Arsenal fans would have predicted that at all. So, yeah, you got to take Arsenal seriously. So, yeah, that's how I'm going to go for a slight 2-1 Arsenal win. I feel like Newcastle United will score first, but Arsenal will just find a way to come back and just to win the game like they always do. And yeah, they haven't lost at home. They haven't lost at home. So there you go. So 2-1 to Arsenal is going to be my prediction on that one. Right, moving on into Everton against Brighton. Now, of course, Everton lost their last home game against Wolves, because they were 1-0 up, but then they conceded a late winner from Wolves. So yeah, so for Everton, it's a good thing that they draw against Manchester City, because if they would have lost, then the next game they not have confidence, but they draw against Manchester City, which is really good. But the big question is, could they have that confidence going into against Brighton, because you saw how Brighton, didn't want to lose. They show heart, fight, desire, passion, but they've lost. But they weren't scared. In the second half, you can show that they're really trying their best. Not to lose against Arsenal at home yet again, but they have done. So I feel like, for me, I feel like Brighton will have the confidence going into Everton, because Everton, they still haven't won, but that draw against City did really good. But the question is, can they keep this up? Can they turn this to win a win? We shall wait and see. But for me, I'm sorry, Everton fans, but I have to go for Brighton to win, because they really impressed me against Arsenal. Even though they've lost, that's how you do that. You give your all, more than 100%. That's how you do it. So for me, I'm gonna go for Brighton to win. I feel like, yeah, Everton, I'm just still not convinced. I'm still not convinced they'll win. But let's hope they prove me wrong. But for now, as I'm recording this video, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Brighton win against Everton. I feel like Everton will bottle it. I feel like they will score first, but then they will concede maybe a late winner from I don't know who, from Brighton players. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna go for Brighton win of 2-1. Now, Leicester City against Fulham. Like I said, Leicester City will be very disappointed to lose against Fulham, especially when FaZe conceded 2 own goals. So, yeah, but their last home game, they've lost against Newcastle, and Fulham are flying. With that win against Southampton, they overtake Chelsea because they never finished the season above Chelsea. And I feel like they're going to beat Leicester City. Fulham are flying right now. They absolutely are. So, they did one on Boxing Day, and they did one against Southampton just about. And I feel like they're going to do one against Leicester City. So I feel like Fulham will start 2023 with a win. So there you go. So my prediction is 2-0 to Fulham. Um, I feel like Leicester City won't score, but I feel so. Even though I wanted to go for 2 on Fulham, I said, nah, Fulham will keep it a clean sheet. So that's why tomorrow at King Power Stage, I'm gonna go for a 2-0 Fulham win. I feel for Leicester City. I feel like they should stick with Brendan Rodgers, but if Leicester City do get relegated, then I feel that they should sack him. So yeah, basically it. So I'm gonna go for a 2-0 Fulham win, despite um Brendan Rodgers still be staying at the job. So yeah. So the next one is Manchester United against Bournemouth. Now, Manchester United got a win against Wolves just about, and I got my prediction right, because I predicted a 1-0 Manchester United win, and that's exactly what happened. So yeah, so for this game against Bournemouth, they've lost against Chelsea, they've lost against Crystal Palace, and I feel like they're going to lose against Manchester United at Old Trafford. And Rashford, I'm telling you, he's doing better than last season. He's on form right now. He's on form, and I feel like he's going to score um, maybe 2 goals against Manchester United, and maybe Cristiano will score. So that's going to be the outcome for that game. Manchester United, under Eric Ten Hag, is getting things right, and I told you guys that let's not write off Manchester United from the start of the season when they've lost against Brighton and Brentford. I still believe they'll finish in the top 4, and if they could perform like this and maybe sign some really good players, then they'll finish in the top 4 100%. So this game against Bournemouth tomorrow, I'm going to go for a Manchester United win of 3-0. Bournemouth are just terrible. they're absolutely terrible. So yeah. So that's Tuesday's games. Now let's move on into Wednesday's game. So Southampton against Nottingham Forest. Both of them are in the relegation zone. Southampton will be disappointed to concede a late win against Fulham. So yeah, it's at their ground, and yeah, Nottingham Forest did really well against Chelsea, especially in the second half, and they deserved the win, But Kepa saved the day. So yeah, I've already talked about that in yesterday's video. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys check that out. So yeah, in terms of this one, I'm gonna go for draw. I don't think these two teams are really that great. They were in a relegation zone, which is bad, and they haven't won a game since. So that's why I'm just gonna go for a draw 1-1. I feel like Nottingham Forest will score the first goal, and then Southampton will do better in the second half. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna go for a draw 1-1. While the next one, Leeds United against West Ham. I'm telling you, West Ham are in serious, serious trouble. No wins in 5 Premier League games, which is unbelievable. David Moyes is under some serious pressure. I knew that Brentford would win because West Ham look decent. When it comes to chances, they simply cannot create. And Leeds United did draw against Newcastle, which I thought that would never happen, but they did really well. And guess what? Against Manchester City, they really, really could have surprised us, but they've lost. So that's why this game on Wednesday, I'm going to go for 1-0 Leeds United win. I fear for West Ham. I don't know where the goals are going to come from, and I don't know which game they're going to win. So I fear for West Ham. And I feel especially for the West Ham fans because they don't deserve this. To go from finishing in 7th to be in a relegation zone is just not good enough for West Ham. So unfortunately, West Ham fans, I'm just going to have to go for Leeds United win because no wins in 5 is going to be another loss for you guys. So I fear for you. I fear for you. Whereas for Leeds United, I think they'll start 2023 with a win. So that's why I'm going to go for a Leeds United win of 1-0 on that one. All right, the next one is Aston Villa versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, a Midlands derby. Looking forward to that one. I'll be certainly watching that one, and maybe Crystal Palace against Tottenham, which I'll come to in just a few minutes. But Aston Villa, they really, really did well performing against Tottenham. I would have thought that Tottenham going to win because it's at their ground, but they were terrible, and Aston Villa did really, really well. And guess what? Unai Emery has won 3 of the last 4 games, beating Manchester United, beating Tottenham. They've lost against Newcastle. Let me just have a look because I don't want to mistakenly do the wrong thing. Let me just have a look quickly. So yeah, Aston Villa's last 4 games again under Unai Emery. Let me just have a quick look. Yes, they've lost against Liverpool, but they're beating Aston Villa. They drew. No, they've beaten Brighton and they've beaten Manchester United. So 3 wins in the last 4 games is really good. And I think that Aston Villa, like I told you, made the right decision to bring in Unai Emery because he can take teams from below mid-table to possibly the European stages, which Aston Villa really want to do. That's their expectation. I don't think they're going to finish the European place this season, but next season, if they back Unai Emery, get rid of debut players and sign him some really good players, then I feel like Aston Villa will be a threat to finish in the top 7. So I think Aston Villa made the right decision to sack Steven Gerrard and bring in Unai Emery. So I feel like it's going to be another win. Wolverhampton Wanderers will be disappointed to lose against Manchester United because the way they played, but they know it's going to be a difficult game, and I'm looking forward to be watching that. Midlands derby, I'm going to go for a slight 2-1 Aston Villa win on that one. It's not going to be like a 4-0 or something like that. It's going to be a tight one for Aston Villa, so I'm going to go for 2-1 on that one. Right, the next one is Crystal Palace versus Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham have got a really bad record against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, and the way Tottenham have been playing, I feel like for me, if they continue like this, I don't think they're going to finish in the top 4 or to win a trophy. And like I said, do not blame the players or the manager, blame the owner Daniel Levy, because he simply don't care. He don't care about Tottenham. He don't care about letting them finish in the top 4 and winning the trophy. And when they face against Portsmouth, I feel like it's going to be a shock. I don't think they're gonna win the FA Cup, win the Champions League. They're already out of the Carabao Cup. And I don't think they're going to win a trophy if Daniel Levy is not going to back Antonio Conte, back the fans, back everything, because he simply don't care. He just doesn't care. So yeah, so unfortunately, Crystal Palace, I would have thought that that loss against Fulham, they would have lost against Bournemouth, but they put in a really good performance. And since it's at their ground, I expect them to bounce back from that Fulham defeat and do well and actually turn up in a proper London derby. So I'm going to go for Crystal Palace win of 2-0. I just don't see Tottenham winning at all. At all. So yeah, and I believe Antonio Conte is going to start James Spence and he's going to play five at the back like he always does. So, yeah, unfortunately, Spurs fans, you're going to lose again. And it looks like if Antonio Conte doesn't get this right and Daniel Levy doesn't back him, then I don't see you guys finishing the top four like I thought you would. But yeah, you're just not good enough. So unfortunately, I'm going to go for a Crystal Palace win of 2-0. And then moving on quickly into the last one, Chelsea against Manchester City. I've gone for a 2-0 Manchester City win because even though that Manchester City looked poor against Everton and got a draw, um, they'll bounce back. And the way Chelsea have been playing, especially against Nottingham Forest, especially in the second half, was absolutely sickening. And I forgot to say, Graham Potter, he got it right against Bournemouth, but he got it completely wrong against Nottingham Forest. I mean, his substitutions was wrong. You know, taking off Dennis Akawa and Mount, seriously, and still allow Jorginho to play a game, you know, and then put Gallagher as part of the pivot. Honestly, that is absolutely sickening from Graham Potter. You know, I think he's going to get this wrong, and he knows it's going to be a tough game because Chelsea don't have a really good record against Manchester City. He's already faced Man City in the Carabao Cup and lost 2-0. I believe it's going to be the same thing. We're going to lose 2-0. There is no chance in hell that we're going to beat Manchester City. You know, if we would have beaten Nottingham Forest, I would say to you guys, I don't think we're going to beat Manchester City, but there could be a chance with that performance, you know, and I would always say this consistently. But have I seen this consistently? No. That's we're not winning games, we're not killing teams off, and we're not a good enough team. You know, teams we're making it look easy for the opposition rather than difficult. And I know that people say, oh, you spent a lot of money winning the title ways. I know, but everything is gone wrong for Chelsea, especially Todd Bowley, not giving Thomas Tuchel some time, sacking him this early, you know, not giving him the pace that he wants. We're just in a complete mess, you know. New year, same old Chelsea. Back to being poor, toothless, and just embarrassing. It's simple as that. So I have no confidence going into this game on Thursday. Obviously, it's going to be a big game, but I have no confidence. And then after that, 3 days after that game, we got them Manchester City at the Etihad for the FA Cup, and I don't think we're going to beat them. So in those two games against Manchester City in different competition, we're not going to beat them. They're going to beat us 2-0. Simple as that. Both at Stamford Bridge for the Premier League and at the Etihad for the Carabao Cup. No chance. No way in hell we're going to beat Manchester City. Nil point. No chance. 0%. Simple as that. So yeah, Man City are going to beat Chelsea 2-0. Thiago Silva, can he stop Erling Haaland? Because, you know, we see Liverpool do it, but can he do it? We shall wait and see. So Thiago Silva is going to be another busy player, but let's see if he can prove why he's the best player of the world, if he can stop Erling Haaland from scoring against Chelsea. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what that happens. But we're not going to beat Man City at all. No chance. So there you go. So 2-0 to Manchester City is going to be my prediction on that one. Alright guys, so that is it. That is all my predictions from game week 19, and the game has kicked off, and I know you guys want to watch that game, so I do apologize, but like I said, my prediction on that one is going to be 2-2 between Brentford and Liverpool. I hope it's going to be another good game like it was last season. So yeah, so good luck to Brentford, good luck to Liverpool, and that's it. So that is it guys, that is my predictions. Make sure you check out tomorrow where I'm going to be going over game week 18 that happened last weekend on New Year's Day, New Year weekend. So make sure you guys check that out. Then on Wednesday, it's going to be my preview for Chelsea versus Manchester City. Then on Thursday, live watch along and match reaction after that. And then and then I'm gonna go through the Premier League game week 19 on a Friday. So there's so many things to do, so many things to do on my YouTube channel. So I hope you guys could bear with me, and let's hope I don't make any mistake and all that stuff. So I'm gonna do this consistently. I might want to make sure I don't miss anything on my YouTube channel. I don't miss anything. So there you go. So yeah, that's the end of this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, if you're new, hit the subscribe button below. Click the like button if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you click the share button so that you guys can give your Premier predictions for this weekend and for this week. And make sure you hit the bell notification so that I never miss any of my YouTube content. So take care, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow or maybe on Wednesday, whichever I do. So yeah, take care, guys, and peace. I'm out of here.